Turn me up. I'm on the web, been pushing bricks on bricks on bricks on bricks in second grade. Money straight so long, bet you know the flex don't fed. I need a beat, I say who gon' block me like she Jay. Little shorty, love me long time, she rock the wave. Ballin' racks on racks on racks on racks on premium bread. Racks on racks on racks on racks like in the States. Shorty love me, how many she love the ways it takes. Baby mama told me I'm a one, she love my taste. Little trap mommy's telling me I live like Dre. I told her, nah, baby, that's just Niger DNA. I need a BBT who gon' love me like she cray. I need a bad beat who gon' love me like she bad. I need a sexy thing who gon' love the misbehave. I need a Texas mommy who love diamonds in her chain. I need a wine mommy who sips in cream and cake. I need a trap mommy who gon' tell her I need money, big stacks, baby. M's for my mama, whole squad jump crazy. We don't rock without cause they move through the shady. I'm on the way up. Tell them I need money, big stacks, baby. M's for my mama, whole squad jump crazy. We don't rock without cause they move through the shady. I'm on the way up. Tell them I need money, big stacks, baby. M's on my mama, whole squad jump crazy.
Welcome back, y'all, to Guide Live, the hottest B2B jam session in the South. No matter where you're tuning in from, whether it be the West Coast, the East Coast, the Mid Coast, hey, thanks for joining us. Shout out to my homie Bola Adesope, who's saying Naja Flex next. Hey, appreciate the love, Bola. Thank you so much for jamming out with us and for listening to my single that I recently released, man. Thank you so much, man. I know a lot of people have been checking it out, and I've been so grateful for the feedback and the vibes and the positivity that people have been sharing. So shout out to you, Bola. Man, so today we have a really awesome guest. Mike Crass is the man you need to know in marketing. I'm not just boosting him. No, this guy really knows his stuff, and he's been doing it for quite some time as well. In fact, he's been doing it for so long, probably longer than I've been alive, and he's passionate about it. He's really, really passionate about it. And today we're really going to dive deep on a lot of the things, how he went about growing his marketing business, his marketing group. And also, we're going to focus on talking a little bit about what does the future of marketing look like in terms of, if you separate what humans are going to do in the future versus what machines are going to do in the future when it comes to marketing, what will that be? And I'm really excited about this topic because, not only does he help B2B brands like kind of, simplify their marketing strategy and think about digital marketing and how do you have a measurable marketing strategy in a very, very defined way. But he has a lot of thoughts on the future of work, and really, he's an all-around nice guy. So I'm really excited to talk with them, and we're going to be showing some love to his MKG marketing group, your next digital marketing agency. So you got to check him out as soon as you hear Mike speak, and also probably get some of the gems he's going to share with us today. Mike, thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Hey, excited to be here.
How are you doing, man? You mentioned that you're in New Orleans, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, my wife and I moved here. It's actually 5 years ago this weekend. So
wow.
We set down some roots. We bought a house. I'm standing in it right now, and we're really enjoying being in New Orleans.
Wow. So talk to us a little bit about, life is kind of getting back to normal for everybody in the U.S. a little bit. There's still some stuff going on with COVID-19 overseas and whatnot. But dude, it's been over a year and a half now since COVID-19, almost a year and a half. Actually, and there's still a lot of businesses who are struggling with their marketing, like really, really bad. Talk to us a little bit about, I want to go like a year and a half back. What happened for you last year, you and your business, when everything was going on with COVID-19?
Yeah, I think it's helpful to break it down almost into like quarters of the year. You've got Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and then we came into 2021. So in Q1, this COVID-19 thing was still a little bit unknown. Even thinking about it by months, like January in the United States wasn't a thing. February, now it's kind of starting to be a thing, and people are starting to have some questions. And I'm embarrassed to admit I actually first learned about COVID-19 from an Instagram meme of two Australian guys throwing Corona bottles at each other, saying like I kept seeing it kind of on the ticker on CNN and MSNBC and all the different things. I was like, I don't really know what that is. This was like February, where I didn't quite know what it was, except for two Australian guys throwing beer bottles at each other. And then for us, it started to get very real in March. March was the month where, for example, the mayor of New Orleans canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade. That is a local favorite. I mean, if you're canceling St. Patrick's Day, it's as big as Mardi Gras, but there's only locals here.
Wow.
So when she canceled that officially, everyone's like, wait a second, this is a real thing. And it was right at that time. I still remember the date. It was March 14th. She canceled it, and then started some restrictions the following week in terms of movement and gatherings and all that. And it was March 14th that a lot of our clients started to say, hey, we're finishing this quarter pretty strong. Next quarter is looking a little unknown. We're not sure what to do with this.
Mm.
And so Q2 was really for us where the rubber met the road. I know we're on, this B2B jam session. For context, our agency only works in B2B marketing across health and technology businesses.
Wow.
So Q2 was where everyone started to go and shrink a little bit, right? They had all these annual targets and plans that were in place and budgeted for, but everyone sort of shrunk in Q2, and they went into that. And I'm not saying this in a judgmental way, just recounting what happened. They very much went into a scarcity mindset around, we don't know what's happening. We don't know how this will affect our customers, our employees. We have to basically put our arms around the treasure chest and hold on right now.
Wow.
And so we had a couple clients say, we just need to push the pause button. We had other clients say, been great knowing you, see you later. We had other clients just say, hey, let's stay the course, but come July, we are going to have a bit of a reckoning in terms of our working relationship.
Yeah.
So that was
let me ask you, Mike, because you're touching on something really big. A lot of clients are rethinking. I think what you're touching on, a lot of clients started pushing back and thinking about their budget, right, on raw marketing, things like that. Let's dive deep on that, because I think it's so relevant to what we're going to be talking about today, which is, how do you feel about that? Because a lot of times when pandemics or issues start to occur, or let's say it's a huge event of some sort that affects the brand, a lot of businesses start rethinking their marketing and rethinking their branding, and they're not, and it's almost as if like they forget about their community, they forget about how to really, how do I say this, touch them, right? Versus like not, because I'm a big believer, like, you don't want to cut the marketing budget. What you want to actually do is find a way to intimately reach your community, right? And still think about how do you boost marketing even during times of like a pandemic. How did you feel about that as a business leader? And what were you talking to your clients about, man?
Yeah, so I've been blessed to have grown this agency to the point where I'm no longer a marketing practitioner. I'm more of, I like to describe myself with our clients and the relationship I have with those individuals as more of a Sherpa. I'm more of a business strategy kind of mindset who just happens to own a marketing agency that you hire. And so the easy answer academically, right, I'm going to take my business owner hat off and say academically, the easy answer is, in times of less competition, you should be doing more marketing and sales, not just marketing, but sales as well. You should be doubling down on hiring sales headcount, sales, technology, marketing technology, ad tech, and spending more on paid media, because you are going to compete with fewer people. Almost everything in the marketing world these days, especially with digital marketing, is based on a very basic auction system, right? Yeah. You take bidders out of the auction, you get more for less. Now, putting the business owner hat back on, I was able to tell them, all right, I've got my hat back on now. I know that that's hard to do, right? There's a lot of uncertainty, which is a word I've been trying not to use lately because it was used ad nauseum in the media. There was not a clear path forward for what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So I said, knowing that, I would still encourage you to maybe sharpen the pencil on some of your marketing investments on your different programming, but find ways to spend more money on marketing and sales, right? I wasn't just saying, look at me, spend with MKG. It was, you need sales headcount behind this to close deals or to upsell deals or to even find the right deals. within your lead flow. And so that was a lot of what I was sharing with clients, is just saying, listen, like, things are really difficult and no one has the answers. If they did, I would charge you so much money for those answers, but I don't have them. No one does. So with those other bidders coming out of the auctions, now is a great time for you to capitalize. And some did, you know, talking about quarters in Q3, some of our clients doubled and tripled down on marketing and sales. Like, they accelerated their hiring plans. They had the war chest, right? The capital position to say, we're going to make some bets here. Almost like what Southwest Airlines did. You know, Southwest Airlines came out and they were very clear. They said, we are cash strong. We've got a healthy domestic route. We're not dealing with, like, the legacy carriers are getting killed from all this international travel that disappeared, right? They're getting murdered. We don't have any of those problems. And so Gary Davis, who was their now former CEO, said, we're going to go and steal gates. And you see Southwest flying into places like Miami, not Fort Lauderdale, but Miami now. I just flew that flight from Miami to New Orleans last month. They're flying into Chicago O'Hare. They're flying into airports that they couldn't buy their way into with briefcases full of gold pre-pandemic. But he said it's going to hurt. You know, he was preparing the shareholders, right, and the investors. It's going to hurt a little. You might not see the kind of growth you're looking for this year, but look around you. There's a global pandemic going on. We are going to take this obstacle and push through as a way forward to actually break into markets like Miami, that American Airlines owns, that United owns in Chicago. Like, they're stepping in a big way and taking gates from those legacy carriers. And so our clients who did double and triple down on marketing and sales in Q3 and Q4, we actually saw that some of them had their best years ever, right? Even with the huge Q2 crater, they came back in the second half of the calendar year and absolutely put on a show. And it wasn't just us, it was everybody in the organization, all the vendors, all the full-time headcount, the leadership there, deciding that we are going to take a calculated risk here. We think we're in a position to do it. If we completely bomb, here are the repercussions, but we really feel strongly right now. And some of those clients had huge years. It's a small sample size, but I will say some of the clients that actually pulled back in the second half of the year, I think they left a lot of growth on the table when I compare those who went for it and those who didn't. And again, that's easy to say when I'm not on the note with your venture investors, right? I don't have to talk to you know, all your fiduciary responsibilities. I don't have to fire 100 people if this aggressive plan goes sideways. But just from the outside looking in, that's what happened. The folks who got aggressive crushed last year in the health and the tech space.
Wow. So much and then so many things I started. I'm here, right?
Yeah, I'm hearing it too.
I was like, oh, that's a powerful echo. My bad. But yeah, I think, Mike, you're touching on so much truth because there were so many businesses that was started during the pandemic, but the businesses that I think have been really kind of a guiding light in the, whether it be in the healthcare industry or the fintech industry even, it's been businesses who have really been thinking differently about their community and their marketing. You know, Mike, I want to continue on and talk a little bit about something that you mentioned is really important, which is what humans are going to do versus machines when it comes to like the future of marketing and the future of digital marketing. I would love to get your thoughts on that, man.
Yeah, and to provide a little bit of a backstory here, my role here at MKG, it's actually changed a little bit this year, is now focused on the future of what we will sell to customers based on what they actually need from a human being. And so a lot of the conversations I'm having with clients here this year, and even in the past few years prior to the pandemic, I was already hearing a lot of conversations around like, are these things that we need you to do, or could we invest in either software or a SaaS product to handle a piece of this that, you know, we don't really want you writing metadata, right, at $200 an hour.
Wow.
That's silly. You know, if we can get anything done at a better rate and at almost as good a quality, this is kind of up for discussion. And then what has been happening in those conversations is they're actually not trying to reduce our scopes of work with them. They're just trying to refocus us into areas that require a lot more creative thinking. And it's not something that there's already something off the shelf they can buy in terms of like a software product or a SaaS product or service. And so that's been really interesting to see. And alongside that, all of these software products, all these SaaS products, they have been actively trying to displace, I'll just call it like I see it, they're trying to displace the professional services world, right? Because they see all this revenue and all this market potential, and they see basically PS businesses are in their way. And that's just me speaking objectively. You look at somebody like 2 years ago, I forget who it was, I think it was IBM. They actually reduced and refocused and then increased their contract with their global law firm of record, who's got a bunch of names followed by LLP after the name.
Yeah.
And the reason why they did it is they said, we're spending so much money for you to look at contracts. We just discovered this blockchain product. We actually hired someone to build it for us, and it will do like contract validation in a fraction of the time at a fraction of the cost. So you can focus on finding, M&A deals. You can focus on more strategic counsel that you can't just shove into a machine learning platform and get an answer cleanly spit out at you. So that's what we're starting to see a lot of, is clients are really asking, what do I want you as the human being to focus on? And the nice to haves for you to focus on. We're kind of curious and looking for a piece of technology to power that for us so that we can have you focused where you need to be. And so that's really where I'm starting to see a lot more happen, is if it can be done by a machine reasonably well, we are, I'm talking to a lot of our clients and I'm being really honest with them and saying, like, why don't you have this machine do this? Like, what keeps you investing in a human being doing that kind of work?
Yeah, that's some powerful statements, Mike, because you touched on something there that I really love, especially being a technology leader, is that this idea that a lot of software companies are looking to potentially replace the professional services, and there is that, and I love how you're saying that a lot of companies are actually thinking about what does the role humans play when it comes to whether it be outside partners or even some of the people that they have as contractors inside or their employees. Mike, I'm not a Luddite, because that's what we often call them. I'm not someone that believes that human beings are going to be out of a job in the future or even in the present. There's so much needed for creative intellect. I'm a creative person at heart, and I know the importance of the human potential. What are your belief systems on that, right, when it comes to marketing and the future of marketing? Because I think the best brands are going to be community oriented.
Yeah. I've got a few thoughts, and I'll just toss them out there, and we'll put it into the arena and we'll kick them around and have a conversation. The first thought starts with a fact. So I was fortunate enough to attend a virtual summer school last year from Singularity University, which is based in Australia, but they've got big office in Los Angeles and other parts of the world. And they believe that the concept of the singularity is coming, where people and technology essentially merge into one. They don't run parallel, it's coming together. And you see that singularity in examples like my friend here in New Orleans runs a biotech company, and they do what they call nerve on chip testing. Don't ask me the details. I don't understand the science at all. But what he's replacing is having to put a human being or a bunch of a bucket of rats into a lab and testing, nerve technology or treatments or therapies. And this is all now kind of coming together. So what I learned in summer school with Singularity is for every job that's taken away by technology, the jobs were taken away. It was something like 2.5 jobs were created as a result. They were just different jobs. So instead of you being a truck driver, you were now managing remotely a fleet of trucks on your behalf, or some such example like that. So when I think about the future of work, I think of how will technology companies, when they are taking that one job away, how will they replace that job, at least 1-to-1 or at a 2 or 3-to-1 basis. So how are you creating new opportunities? Because that's where I see, living in New Orleans, sure, we have, a growing technology scene, but this is not San Jose, California. I'm going to be real with you. So when a lot of people in New Orleans hear, oh, Mr. Tim's going to show up and he's going to build this amazing thing, and sure, we love it, but half the people on this block are going to lose their jobs. They're losing the jobs today. And if there isn't a job in the wings that they can train up for and develop into, they're going to have a lot of problems getting any kind of go-to-market traction there, right? Because they're basically just steamrolling people's jobs through an entire generation of human beings. So getting to your second point, because I love talking about community, in terms of marketing, you're starting to see a lot more community rising up around social networks, of course. Used to be in-person events. Those are starting to come back now, which is really great. And it's hard to replace community with a machine, because a community is almost like a tribe. I'm reading a book called Tribe right now. And the concept of a tribe, I know Seth Godin's talked about it, who's a big marketing guy over the years.
Mr. Purple Cow.
It is Purple Cow, yeah, Mr. Purple Cow. The feeling of community with another brand is really powerful. And in the B2B space, again, I mentioned we do a lot of health and technology marketing. We have a lot of cybersecurity customers who are using us to help them out with digital marketing. Community is incredibly important there, because every single day you're hearing about a new ransomware attack. Last Friday, there was the Microsoft print, they called it print nightmare. Somebody figured out how to get into Microsoft machines and then take over your printer. And the community around that is incredible in terms of the engineering community, the marketing community, and the general business community wants nothing to do with a bunch of they call them bad actors, getting into all their printers and then getting into their networks. So you think about marketing as a community, and it'll be interesting to see how humans can activate those communities, not to control them, like it's not a dictatorship, but more to encourage their growth from a marketing standpoint.
That's powerful, man. No, that's some powerful nuggets, man, because, we are living in that future right now in present day. As I always try to tell people, the more present you are with your marketing strategy and engaging your community, the better. We at Guy, we're actually going to start doing more in real life events with partners, as well as hosting our own managed events. And, I think that you are touching on something so important now that everything's coming back to normal. People are going to concerts again. A lot of brands are looking for new brand partnerships with creators and artists and musicians. And, it's a different world now. Mike, it's been an honor having you on the show, man. Where can our amazing Team Guide members and community follow you to learn more about you, man?
Yeah, I love being here, man, and it's easy to find me. Our company is called MKG Marketing, so like Mike Kilo Gator Marketing. You can go to mkg.marketing. We're actually launching a brand new website at the end of this month, so come check it out. Show us a little bit of love, or if you don't like it, you can also tell us that. We're okay to feedback as well. So you can find us there. You can also go on LinkedIn. I'm most active on LinkedIn. So just look me up, Mike Crass, K like karate, RASS, like the New Orleans Saints at the end. Easy to find. And I love to connect with folks across the business community. So give me a shout.
Love it, man. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mike. And we got to have you back on in the future. Hopefully, are you writing a book, Mike? Because it sounds like you're writing a book, man.
I might be writing a little bit of a book actually about leadership lessons from the past 18 months. I want to document them, and I was thinking about doing like a blog post or some sort of online thing, and then I was like, I could publish this and post it on the Amazon Kindle store for free. Why would I not kind of bring those together? So you caught me. Actually, nobody knows that I'm doing that, not even my business partner yet, because I haven't told her. So this is the release of the fact that I'm writing a book and I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's not going well, but that's okay.
You heard it here first, y'all. You heard it here first on Guide Live. Mike, it's been a pleasure, man. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
You too, man. Shout out to Mike Crass. Make sure you check out his amazing work and the work he's doing with the MKG Marketing Group. You got to love it. Also, show us some love at guidegroup.com, our new home on the web. Y'all, thank y'all for your amazing feedback on our new site. We appreciate it. We love it. We think it's cool. In addition, thank y'all so much for buying the tea and for showing us love and for just all your amazing comments. Want to shout out to Kersier Beckwith, who's a member. Shout out to the homie Bola who tuned in. He's saying cool chat. Hey, man, we are jamming here. We are jamming here, man. Our next guest, I think he's going to be even more awesome, I believe. Oh, actually, we don't have a next guest today. That was the only guest today. Tomorrow, though, for those of you who are going to be joining us tomorrow, we have a guest that I think you all will love. I'm not going to tell you what her name is because I want it to be a surprise. But she does phenomenal things. You can actually find her on LinkedIn. But once again, I'm not telling you her name. You have to come back tomorrow for Friday edition of Guide Live. All right, y'all. Shout out to the homie Bola. Shout out to Kersier, one of our top members, who's always showing us love. You know, support small businesses. Support them. Support guides. Support every small business in your local area, because small businesses make the world go round. Seriously, we wouldn't have anything without small businesses. I truly believe that. In addition to that, Demaya Joseph, my first limited play, it is out. Thank y'all so much for everyone that's been showing love. Shout out to the homie Bola, who's like jamming Nigel Flex. We are jamming on here at Guide. We are so excited about the future of everything, to be honest with you. The creator economy is growing. The future of work is just booming. And, you know, a lot of you are reaching out to us about opportunities to partner with you all. We love that. If you ever want to partner with us, we make space for our members. We really do. We literally have a Slack community just for you all. So show us some love, reach out to us, and we'll try to figure out how we can support you all and what you all are doing. Check out bigblacktea.com if you're interested in being an affiliate or a partner at bigblacktea.com. bigblacktea.com. That's where we're slanging and selling the tea. That's where we're sipping. So check us out at bigblacktea.com. BBT. All right, y'all. Peace with y'all. Abundance. And as always, stay chill. Talk soon.